Stream Elements said, Kuroshine is now live. Streaming Forza Motorsport, the battle to be king begins. 1HOR, King of the Ring Rd.1.
Drop it.
And good morning. Hello, and how are we doing today? We are getting ready for the 1HOR King of the Ring Championship. I am Kuroshine. I'm going to be your broadcast host this morning.
Namiel Sky said, salt and pepper.
Hello, Miss
Namiel
Nami.
Sid.
How we doing? I'm glad you can appreciate what we got going on today. So we're going to be broadcasting and showing off a little bit of a race that we have going on. It's a special GT3 single track competition where we'll be seeing who can master this one field the best as we get going. So I hope you have a good morning. Get yourself something to drink, something to enjoy, and I hope you have a good one. We'll be getting underway in just a few minutes. Undeafen, and we're gonna pop in and get everyone situated.
One.
Hello, whoever joined.
It's just me. I was just checking in to see how stuff was going.
Okay, Green Echo is not racing.
That'll be most of the bottom 3 up one.
Yes.
Nami, how you doing today? I have like a bunch of junk over here because I've been like working on various projects.
I don't know if you guys cannot do it or the game does it, but just to remind you, there are groups for your cars. Pick your car from your group. It's in the builds, it's in the guide and rules. Then once again, for those who don't know, you all race as one lobby. The groups only exist to have the balance of the performance applied.
Sounds good.
No matter what, just as an FYI, you're gonna have to make a stop, no matter what you do.
Raymond.
You might be
So
needing
you're
to do more
in the
stuff.
Porsche, and it looks like you are a little bit low on the PI, and in the is the Porsche in Group 1?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
Raymond, can you please check if you have the race drive line in your car? That might be that one PI difference that you're missing.
And then we have 17 in the, or 18, excuse me, in the race lobby, and so we're missing one person in the lobby because both Kuro and Space Dog are in here, but you guys aren't actually racing. Means we need one more.
Green Echo is not.
He's not racing. I've already removed him from it, but we still should have 17 drivers. And we only have
Vitamines, they
18 in the
said,
lobby,
less
but we
than
have
3.
2 spectators/hosts,
What's up, Minis? How are you doing?
which means we're missing one person.
We have
I'm
like,
not in the
issues
lobby
with
yet.
Bob's.
Oh, okay. What's your gamer tag?
Jeff Accidental. I dropped it in the chat up a little more. I can drop it again too.
Yeah, sure. If you want to do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Raymond, can you just find the rims that will make your PI 826? You're
If you
either
want them
one up
actually
or one
kebab,
down. Just
then
826.
No. If you want me to make kebabs, please just ask me to make kebabs.
There we go. You should see that invite.
Actually,
Michael.
Foil is just simpler, but like that is a more reusable method. So, the
Thank you.
basket would be the
Yeah, of
better
course.
one. No, this is a gift for me for you. Excuse me, it's a gift for you to me.
That's why. On the right,
Occasionally
you
you
can
do.
see what your vehicle weight, horsepower, and torque is.
That is true.
So you're not just
I do
guessing
appreciate
on what
it.
rim you're putting on.
Yes, that's correct. If you press Y and cycle the information, it should say your overall weight. And then pick the rims that will match the 2,972 pounds.
Oh, whenever they do release one.
Roast Race said, gonna have you as a VOD.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll hopefully be able to make it all work for you. I think in the future we can go through and like just make a suggestion so that people know that what options they have or like what like the idea one is. But like the goal is just to give you flexibility to make your car still look how you want and have meet the parameter because the weight's what matters. We don't care what wheel it is.
He's just new to the game. That's why he doesn't
No, that's fair.
know what he's getting.
Is someone missing?
Someone's just got the wrong BOP at the moment. Just trying to get that sorted out.
Yeah, if it's Raymond, I can allow like this one PI below, but
Okay, ready in 5 minutes. 1 second.
we don't want to delay it.
What
if
is
it's one PI below, just start with this and
OFC
then
would
just
like to
make
do
sure
commentary
for
at
the
some
next
point with
week
Hug.
you have correct PI. And talk to me after race. I will help you set it up if you are. You're just one PI below. It's.
I did say in the
Okay.
general chat that he is a new guy.
Yeah.
Like he's new to this.
Yes. I will
Yeah, that's fair.
definitely help you out, but after the race. Is everyone in the lobby?
Hello,
hello.
Cogwino. Someone
Because
just
we know
joined.
you haven't qualified, right?
Oh, he's
Bye, Cogwino.
Welcome.
All right, let's get going.
Right.
Early, we're waiting on you to ready
Check
up.
your fuel
Very nice
and
if we can
tires
start.
and ready up.
Where's my microphone dock? There we go. And Rose, if you do want
Good luck, have fun.
some commentary for something,
Yeah,
let
good
me
luck,
know.
everyone.
All right, everybody is
And
clear on the start
everyone ready.
procedure.
Yeah, nobody moves.
We have
we
them,
will
but
read
I can't-
the
I'm worried
order
not to be able
for
to talk for
you,
like another
and then
hour,
you
okay?
start
All right, love
lining
you.
up in double file column.
Yeah, Karen, just as an FYI, I'll possibly talk to you after this. Because, yeah.
Okay, yeah, just hit me up. I'm mad that I am talking to Roast Race. I'm not in VC because I'm muted, but of course Roast is actually listening. But yeah, we'll talk later. You focus on the race. All right, the lobby is set
And I
up.
can
We're getting
listen
ready to
to
go
you.
underway.
I still hear you over the Twitch stuff.
And we are going to partner. We're going
I'm
full
in the
screen.
spectator mode, but I cannot. Okay.
Okay, Salami,
Oh.
you press start. So do not do
You
that.
just wait.
You guys don't.
He's gone. He's going.
Gone.
Salami, you don't
There's one
want to
very
say-
easy solution to
Yeah.
that. He stopped. Just stay
Alright.
there.
Okay.
All right, you get the order, Space Hog?
TNR breaker first.
A little bit of confusion.
I'll go
as,
towards the
things
point
are
that
getting
was on the
underway.
picture, right?
Yeah,
And
just
wait
after T4. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, how does
And
zoom
you
the
wait
map?
on the left.
Yep.
Then Glizzy. Then early and late. Then Max Yaga. Then Micro. Then Aspect. Dave. Tony Monkey. Rose Face. Code.
Oh, there we go. There's the map
SVR
zoom.
Spectator.
I was like, I know how to zoom this map somehow.
Graphics. Eclifer.
I don't know how, but I just got a penalty.
Raymond. We're gonna fix it after the race in this case. Maybe you catch the T2.
Were you the green Porsche?
Like, stopped on track.
I was.
I
Okay,
ran
I'm
into you.
gonna-
Oh my god. We'll reverse.
Oh,
We'll get rid of that.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
we're gonna remove it. Sorry. 14th was Raymond. 15th is Salami.
Going down
if
our
I'm
grid,
correct. 16th
from the
is
top, we
Japingus.
have
17th is
TNR
Michael
Breaker,
Patana.
TNR Glizzy leading up in C8 Corvettes, early and late with the highest
the grid
rated
behind
Mustang.
7th is a little weird.
TNR
Wait,
Max.
It looks
Max
like the
Jaga.
Porsche
Was-
behind the Mustang, so it would be 9th place, needs to go closer to the left of the track.
Microbio in the
Yeah.
Ferrari
Yes, the
488.
odd numbers are on the left, the even numbers are on the right. And I
Perfect.
see
And then the two cars behind them, both
Aspect
Porsches, both
with
green.
the
If you guys want to
highest
just switch up
rated
a little bit, yeah.
Mercedes AMG
Awesome.
GT.
Okay, that looks
just doing a quick,
DAW 08. It is a field
tax
full of C8
test
Corvettes
kind
here
of thing.
today.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for,
We have already
Tony
tested
Monkey
that.
in a very
Early
fancy
Night, Max
looking
Yaga, Micro,
Mustang
Aspect,
GT.
Dave,
Mustang
Tony,
GT3 rocking a
Roseface,
Guardians
Spectator,
Golden
Code.
Guardians Racing Team
So-
livery.
Code
Roast
should be
race in
front of
the 911
Spectator,
GTR roast
actually.
race.
I think they're just
You
really
just need to
close
move to the
together.
bumper.
Okay.
SVR
Code, can
Spectator
you do that?
in the
Raymond,
Coos
Salami,
911.
Japingus, Vengeful.
That's all
Code the
correct.
Chode.
Then let's
A
start
name
the
I
grid.
ran
40
into
miles
yesterday.
an hour until the
Another
leader
Cruise
reaches
911.
the starting point.
SVR Spectre. Oh, they just
And
swapped
then race
graphics in the number 88 LMGT
Striker?
Mustang
You're-
AMG GT.
I'm
Not
going now.
AMG.
Okay.
Mustang GT GT3. I hate these names.
Just wanted
Echo
to
Lifter
let you finish talking
in
before everyone.
Lamborghini,
It should
and
be
we
double file,
are
right?
off.
Yeah,
We're off
and
on
slow a
the
bit, slow a
double
bit, so
file.
everyone can get
40.
into position.
Raymond,
Because
can you go
Halting miles
near
per
to
hour.
the 30?
40. Yeah.
The grid is going to
Raymond,
be processing
Can
around at
you
about
Just
40.
go near it or no?
Raymond doesn't have a mic.
Raymond?
Yep.
Raymond is so far
Yes,
from the
Raymond
30.
is in front of you.
It's so far.
Yeah, guys, catch up, catch up.
Bring that
catch
gap up.
up.
Yeah, go more than
Raymond
40 to catch
still
up.
Catch up. If Raymond is not catching up, just
I can
Just-
overtake if he don't catch. Because
yeah,
I don't know why I don't catch.
overtake and catch up if Raymond is not catching up.
Okay, Raymond is already 13. Okay.
A
Thank you,
little
Raymond.
bit of confusion in the back of the field as
Oh, boy.
Raymond in the 911
Oh,
GT3
that's gonna be
are
great.
Lance just went out. So that's interesting.
Yeah, because it's 6 a.m. So
the visibility
At 6 a.m.
here
we don't need it
tonight
anymore.
is very, very
It's like,
poor.
no, there's-
And as the
we
clocks
can
tick
have a day for
forward,
it.
there's
the lights are turning out for some of the
still a
drivers,
bit
making it
left.
a little difficult to take off. We're gonna
Raymond,
hop
what happened with
on
Eclipse?
TNR. We're gonna hop on with TNR Max Jaga.
Yeah,
and do
my
Information
thing, the
a-
order
done.
is correct.
Yeah, it
We
looks
are-
good and formed up.
We are getting close to the starting point. I'm gonna do the countdown, and on the go, you will go. So from here, it's gonna be 3, 2, 1, go.
And the race is going green. The race is going green.
Am I having delay or no? It's
You're
okay.
good.
You're fine.
And we are green for the beginning of the 1HR King of the Ring. Early and
my
late,
gosh.
looking to take it. Excuse me, ATNR Max Jaga looking to take a spin on the outside. Oh, and there's a bit of a mix-up as we get into going on to the Nordschleife section of the race.
Hello.
Hello.
We're too wide going into the
You did
first
not
corner.
leave me
Oh, and
space on
there
the
is
inside.
a Corvette that was
did leave
going
me
wide.
space. You did. Oh
Look at this guy.
no! Look what you made me do.
Classic. Classic micro.
Oh, and someone's around. It appears Microbio
Let's take caution when you are rejoining the track,
Microbio
please.
was around. And there's a bit of a shuffle in the back with some shoulders out for the 911s. And it appears Raymond 2 a.m. is having a bit of a trouble getting himself underway, but getting up to speed as the race gets underway. We have 8 long laps of the green held this morning.
Okay.
And hello,
Ooh.
Space Dog.
Hello, hello. Seems like a successful start
Yeah, after a
to
little
the
bit of a
first race of the new season.
absolutely, there's a little bit of a shuffle as they got onto the ring with what appeared Microbio getting rotated by Aspect over the curbs, and Raymond 2 a.m. having a bit of an issue getting started as well. But we are successfully racing now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time at the starting order. Front of the field looks like there is not much change there from the qualifying. And the leader is slowly starting to. Oh, he's out. He's out,
TNR
and
Brecker
also
was
Glizzy.
wide, but maintained
Yeah.
the line as Glizzy followed right behind him, sending the Corvettes over the curve with a big sideways slide. In the background, it appears that we have early and late and wasn't Salami, but Salami seems to be making his way through the field pretty quickly. Starting from the back due to a glitch with the qualifying procedure, Salami has worked his way up to P4, and there are nose to tail coming through this section of the track. I hope you're better with the corner names than me because I know them very poorly.
With the corner names, yeah, of course. Only the most iconic one. Which, speaking of, we are getting close to the first. You know what? No, never mind. I have a hole in my brain. Let me pull up the map.
You're good. Oh, and Salami makes a move to get around Tinar Glizzy. So where did Tinar Bryker have an issue? Salami all of a sudden is in P1 being chased by TNR Glizzy and early and late, but Salami goes wide onto the grass, fighting for a position back on the track, very wide, sideways, crossing the track, avoiding collecting the front field of cars. Salami is struggling to kind of find his rhythm back, but Salami's brought himself back on the pace, and TNR Bryker puts himself back into first place, but early and late is rushing to try to... Yeah, early and late is rushing to try to establish himself in this first group, while Salami is hunting to get back into this fight.
We are getting close to the first carousel of the race. Bryker keeps the line early and late. Max Yaga and Salami seems to be through. Spectre not that far away from the leading pack. Speaking about the earlier incident, Riker lost his rear at the Bergwerk. Very important corner because it's one of the few straight lines on this circuit. It's very important that you have your entry as fast as possible because the top speed later is very important before you reach the car. So.
Absolutely. I'm trying to track the intervals, but the intervals are being a little weird right now. So we're just gonna have to follow it based on
unfortunately, same on my screen.
Yeah, I think it's just a timing glitch. It'll typically clear itself by the time the first lap goes on. We're gonna take a quick zoom out and see if there's anything else. Oh, and Bryker again getting really wide onto the track early and late, not giving him any room to breathe and trying to punish him for his mistakes, but not quite able to find a way around him. These GT3 cars are very big and very wide for such a narrow and complex track.
That's correct, and I think the weather doesn't make it easier because still in the fog conditions, it's slightly slippery. So maybe that's why we see quite a few off tracks in the leading pack.
No, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see because what is our tire wear for the race proper? Is it at 1x or is it 2x for the race?
The tire wear is 2x, and if I can cycle to see what kind of tires our drivers are doing.
You won't be able to see the compounds, but you'll be able to see how much wear they have. So in driver data, you can check their telemetry, and the top right will tell you if their tires are getting worn. And then you can pull up the driver telemetry and cycle over to their damage profile, and you'll be able to see how much tire wear they're running. You might be able to get a guess of their compound if you see who has like an advantageous wear amount. So we're actually coming up on completing the first tour of the Nordschleife, entering into the GP section of the track. And as we complete the first lap, it is TNR Bryker, then early and late. Salami pulling himself up from the back of the field to a very impressive P3. Max Yaga and SVR Spectre making up our front five. It looks like we have another trio of cars coming up here with Reflex Microbio and Jabingus excuse me, not Jubingus, aspect microbio and reflex coming through. It's unfortunate these headlights turned off because this visibility has to be absolute pea soup.
The weather should clear. The forecast is that we'll go out of the fog closer to the end of the race. However, for the 2/3 of the race, it will be dense fog and then thin haze. So drivers will have to wait until maybe like lap 6 or 7 for the weather to clear out. And I did check the tire wear. It seems like Bryker lost 20% of his tire during the lap 1. So that probably means he is running soft compound.
It seems like that. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to do any test runs, so I have no idea what the overall wear is, but it really looked like Bryker was putting everything that he had out there. So a soft compound would not be unheard of. Up at the front of the field, it looks like the field is spaced out a little bit. Bryker and early and late are still having an intense duel with one another. And then Salami, Max Jaga, and Spectator bring up the next third. TNR Glizzy separating off a little bit into a fourth pack. But then our third group of Aspect, Microbio, and Rafa still in tight contention. And after that, the field seems to spread out quite a bit, getting us down to Raymond, who still holds himself on the lead lap, but is yet to lead the GP section of the field. And it looks like Salami appears to have DNF.
I was about to say he was ghosted for the from the exit of the GP to Nordschleife through the Sabina Schmidt curve. That's the point where he ghosted, and then he started losing positions and something happened. Maybe he got disconnected, maybe he quit, but he's no longer with us.
That was a very impressive drive that he put in. So we'll have to see if he makes a return for the subsequent rounds. But right now we're on board with early and late as he's hunting down TNR Bryker through the fog. And this is very close racing at really high speeds and tight confines. Early and late pulling alongside Bryker. Is Early and Late going to be able to get the speed up? No. Bryker a little more brave on the brakes into the curve. But Bryker seems to be paying for it, really out of shape into the next braking section. But getting it under control,
Corvette.
riding up on the course. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Corvette has superior handling, that's for sure. But Early and Late in Mustang has slightly higher top speed. So I think it's going to be very even battle where Bryker will win during the cornering sections, but then Early and Late might catch up every time there is a bit of straight on the circuit.
That's true. We're gonna drop back and take a look at.
Early lost the rear.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I just clicked off of him as I heard that from you. But he didn't seem to have been punished too badly. But with the skill of both of these drivers, any tints will be punishing gaps between them to go for.
That is absolutely correct. He lost the rear just for a moment, just for a second, and it was literally a second. So that's also a problem for him because once again, we're past the berg, we're going to straight section of the circuit, and he's probably out of the draft zone.
Yeah, he's found himself 1.6 seconds back, and the draft begins to catch you at about 1 second. But looking at the telemetry really quickly, so Bryker appears to be at hitting about 30% wear on his tires, but Early appears to be getting the worst of it, being much higher up on 40, which is leading me to believe that Bryker's actually on mediums and Early's been pushing this hard on softs.
That would be correct, yes. I'm trying to compare the top speed of both of them, and it looks like Early and Late is topping out at 182, while Riker is doing 183. So, it actually matches. So the top speed actually matches. So
Is that kilometers or is that miles per hour?
that's miles per hour. That's
Okay.
183.
Yeah, because I'm seeing 190 and 189, so they are like just very.
Maybe that's my game telemetry lying to me.
Forza will do what Forza will. So to our second group, they're down to about a 5.5 second gap. But Spectre and Max Jaga are going to have the advantage of drafting from one another as they get onto this next straight section, which is very possibly going to bring them into closer contention with the front of the field.
I'm looking at the map if there are any packs forming, but from the looks of it, the field is slowly getting
a little more strung out.
Spread out. There's only Roseface and Tony Monkey racing close for the P12. But everyone in front of them seems to have pretty significant gap one to another. The field is currently spread out on average about 2 or 3 seconds.
That's true, but we're very likely going to be seeing our first run of pit stops from any of the soft runners, where some of the medium tire runners have the possibility of stretching this run out for another lap. And was that Glizzy just getting by Spectre? Sorry,
that's Max Yaga ran into the gravel trap, and Glizzy took advantage of that, took the 4th position. So, yeah, Max Yaga potentially lost about 2-3 seconds just by touching that gravel.
And from what we're seeing, Early's gap to Riker is just continuing to expand. Let's see. Early's tires might be getting a little close to. Yeah, no, Early has worn tires on all sides, so Early is going to start falling back from Riker. It's a matter of if Spectre is in a similar condition. No, Spectre also appears to have been on mediums. So Early, the one driver out of the front contingent that decided to take softs. Soft tires looking like they're not quite going to last you an entire 2-lap stint. But maybe the advantage it gives you over that sprint is going to be worth it.
Early is in the pits.
As Early's taking a fresh set of tires. Now doing two with, sorry, I'm doing some quick math. If a set of sauce will last you about 2 laps, and then Early's going to be able to go onto mediums and run for 3, he'll possibly, even if you're so the math that I'm running through, even if you're running mediums, you're going to have to 2-stop, because you're going to have to stop for 3, 6, and then you'll have 2 at 8. So Early possibly going for the early play of getting onto mediums and gonna be able to take a longer run at the final stint. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone else's pit strategies work out, as Early finds himself out the pits into P9.
That is correct, and we will have to see how Riker tires look at the end of lap 3, because the track is not rubbered up yet. So it also might mean that the mediums early won't give you that much of an advantage as running mediums much later, where on your 3rd lap you won't have to deal with them being probably like moderate, worn to the, what's it called, moderate condition, right? Yeah, we will have to see. We will have to monitor that situation and see what strategy might be working the best. Maybe early going for that 2 laps
Early.
on softs at the
Yep.
at the beginning of the race. Maybe that will pay off later.
Being able to run those longer stints, as everyone's going to be looking for. Everyone's going to be looking to have to turn over a very short stint on medium tires at the end. But running softs for their final stint of the race. It'll be interesting to see like how you were talking about how the weather conditions affect it. With the cool, damp track, the soft tires would have given you a bit more of an advantage of trying to hold on to this surface. But as the day goes on and the sun and it clears out and the track temperatures start to go up, those soft tires are going to eat up all the faster. So I don't think you'll ever get to a point where you'll have less than 1 lap of life on them, but you're going to suffer for a whole lot longer when you're trying to push those softs on that second lap.
That is correct. And midfield looks like Jabingus is early and late. After the pits, he was 9th, and currently he's catching up to Jabingus for the P8. So if he's faster, because he was in the leading pack, if he's faster than rest of the grid, then getting also back to his position will be slightly tricky, as he will have to deal with a bit of traffic.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much traffic he has to deal with, because it looks like everyone ahead of him is likely going to make a stop this lap. So early and late, trying to do a little bit of math. I didn't pay attention to exactly how long his pit stop was, but everyone in front of him is going to be making a stop. So it'll be really important to see where that puts him when that pit cycle goes through. If he's able to make this long out lap count, he might be able to convert that early stop into track position.
The pit stop on the GP circuit, on the full Nürburgring circuit, as far as I remember, it's about 22 seconds, might be slightly longer depending on the fuel you take. And one more point about early and late. It is true that people in front of him now will pit for another set of mediums probably. But that also means if he gets stuck behind a slower car, that's going to cost him as well. And looking at the mid-pack battles, Microbio is currently chasing Rafex and Aspect. There's only 1 second difference between 3 of those cars, with Aspect leading the pack.
Yes, we're flipped over and taking a look from Raffic's perspective as he drives up against, he gets side by side against Aspect's AMG, taking advantage of that high straight line speed advantage the Mustang has, and Rafix is able to get the overtake done on Aspect. Now, as Aspect comes down, I believe the AMG has a bit better handling characteristics, does it not?
That is correct. AMG is actually pretty strong on this track. We'll see what Aspect can make out of it. However, the previous move, Rafix waited for the piece of straight line and then got advantage of that drafting. And now, after the first carousel, seems like he will be pulling away from Aspect.
Yeah, we're opening up to some of the higher speed sections of the track until the second carousel comes around. Aspect is finding himself a little vulnerable as Microbio is coming up to take advantage of his fall off in pace. Both Aspect, Microbio, and Rafa, though, are hitting up on the ends of that tire life. Yep, their tires have just gone into minor wear. That Mustang's going to be hurting. Yep, all 4 corners in Microbio. Microbio holding on, 3 tires gone out of 1. I mean, 3 tires out of 4 gone. In the background, early and late is closing down up to a second against Jabingus.
Bingus.
Yeah, it's a lot of American muscle fighting on the German hills today with all the C8s and Mustangs. I expected the Mustang would be a popular pick since it's the newest GT3 addition to the game.
That is correct. However, looking at the entries we have for this tournament, the C8 Corvette is definitely fans' favorite because I think we had 8 entries of C8 Corvette and 7 entries of Mustang. Obviously, not everyone showed up today, but yeah, the C8 seems to be very, very popular.
Yeah, I imagine that there's today is the finale of the Racing Haven Endurance Championship at Spa. So a number of the drivers are going to be trying to put their finishing stamp on that tournament. But going into the following weeks, I imagine some of the faster contingent are going to start coming out the woodwork. And as we speak, our leader has gone into the pits, and we're getting onto the straight, early and late, opening up that Mustang. And I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of road space that's going to open up in front of them, as all the cars ahead of them, as far as I've seen, have gone on to minor wear. Glizzy in the pits, Max Yaga in the pits, waiting to see what happens.
Correct. And
sorry, go ahead.
I just took a look at what was the tire wear of our leader before he switched his before he changed his tires. It was 60%. So I believe that it's close to the severe tire wear, if not, I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like the mediums fall off about halfway through the third lap. And if you keep pushing, it'll just get worse. But as we said, early and late converts that P9 into P2, falling in 11 seconds behind Bryker. Not quite as close as he was when he went in initially, but early and late coming out with a car that is all warmed up, tires are ready to go, and Bryker is going to have to get himself up to speed.
Yeah, on the last lap, early and late, 8:31.6. This is definitely not the fastest lap you can do in the Mustang. So he lost a bit of time. Bryker is clearly the fastest guy today. Early and late will have to put real effort to catch up with the leader. Currently, he's 12 seconds behind. And Bryker potentially, his last stint will be on soft. So, the things will get harder and harder for early and late unless he starts improving his times.
Yes, sir. I am going to have to back out for 1 second. It appears that I've had a glitch where I've just lost all audio, unfortunately, and we're getting under halfway. Hopefully it's just a moment to reset. So I'm gonna, for all you people on stream, we're gonna BRB and let's sort it out.
Sure.
All right, and I'm back, and everything seems to be working now. Right. And as we were going away just a moment ago, Microbio and Aspect are back at it again, nose to tail. Microbio right on the bumper of that Mercedes AMG, not giving Aspect any room to breathe.
Yeah, it seems to be interesting fight. They seem to be very, very close since the start of the race, with Aspect keeping slight advantage. Rafix previously was there in that pack. However, he is now pulling away from that pack for about 6.6 seconds advantage. And I was just looking at the current podium standings. We were worried that there were not enough entries of Porsche in this tournament. However, SVR Spectre in that beautiful Monte Grello number 911 livery is currently in the third, and Gleazy is 4 seconds behind him. So it looks like for now, looking at the car pool, we have Corvette in first, Mustang in the second, and then Porsche in third, which means that also BOP is working. Oh, and Aspect caught a bit of dirt, which allowed Micro to catch up. Aspect lost about 0.4 seconds, and Micro again is on his rear bumper. I think they're both slightly losing time, and Jabingus soon might take an advantage of that because now he's only 2.5 seconds behind them. Lizzie making his way through the Bergwerk, and then Mark
coming up the hill.
behind him.
Microbio got side by side with Aspect, but Micro not able to put enough power down in order to get by. Aspect able to hold on to his current P7 position.
Yep, both of them now are going through the Bergwerk. As I mentioned before, very, very important corner. You want to have as much speed as you can through that corner because then it's a long, straight piece of road. So at the end of it, you want to do the absolute top speed you can with your car. Micro clearly getting a draft because behind Aspect, he's looking for that overtake, leaning left and leaning right. However, Aspect seems to be defending his position very well. Aspect going a bit wide, but Micro, I think it's still not enough for him to get the move done. Very close for the carousel. And now in the next section of the circuit, it might be problematic for Micro to overtake since it's a combination of high speed and low speed corners, not a lot of room for any passes. And as I said, Jabingus is clearly benefiting from both of them fighting. He was 2.5 seconds behind. Now it's 2 seconds behind.
Jabingus is starting to pop up in the back frame of the shot. You see him closing in.
Yeah, that is correct. He might soon join that battle for 7th place. Oh, meanwhile, Spectre lost control of his car. Gleazy managed to take advantage of that, and now Gleazy takes a third and steps onto podium.
To see if Glizzy's able to keep this under control. Glizzy putting some wheels onto the grass. Spectre right back on his bumper, not wanting to fall too far behind. Wanting to make sure Glizzy knows that that mistake is not going to happen as many times as he hopes so, but hoping to put pressure on the Glizzy to put him again, to have him put a foot wrong.
Yeah, and that fight is definitely not over because now we have the longest straight on the circuit. and Spectre might be able to get advantage of the draft. It's gonna be very close. Yep, Spectre now slightly gaining advantage. One of them will definitely have to.
Spectre tries
Give
to
up a
find a
bit
way
because-
around on the outside.
Yeah. It's very dangerous going side by side into this last corner of the circuit because you're doing your absolute top speed going downhill. If you're side by side with someone, it might be problematic for both of you.
Oh, absolutely. That is a big possibility. But Spectre and Glizzy going back and forth with each other is letting Max Jaga start to pull up as well. Max Jaga now down to a 3-second gap. It looks like the battle for 7th has calmed down a bit. Aspect getting a little bit of breathing room off of Microbio. Aspect able to pull a 1.7 second gap to Microbio. Jabingus to 1 second off of him as well. Looking like they're gonna take a little time to let things cool off. Checking to see what the tire strategy had looked like. Yeah, it appears that everyone in this, so Aspect on appearing to be on mediums, Microbio also on mediums, Jabingle on mediums. Not really looking like anyone in the upper field has decided to go for a soft mid stint. But with all that said, early and late is on an alternate pit strategy to the rest of the front of the field. So early and late is going to be stopping likely to see, finish 2, did 3, 4. At the end of this lap, early and late is likely going to be going in for a fresh set of tires.
Yeah, and looking at the fuel,
yeah, sorry, it's probably it's a network it's a network glitch. It'll reconnect in a second. There we go.
All right, then we're back.
Yeah, I've gotten used to this, unfortunately. Ecta Lifter seems to be going in. Unfortunately. Oh, Death Vengeful has DNF'd as well.
Yeah, I don't think he was running at the end of the pack. I think he was P13 before he disconnected, but clearly something happened.
Yeah. Oh,
and
it looks like if I'm reading what's happened correctly, EC Lifter and Code the Chode seem to have done a soft run to put them onto mediums, meaning this is their last stop of the race. So do 5, 6. Actually, no.
Very likely.
That's gonna be a bit of a stretch. So EC Lifter and Code the Chode coming out onto lap 5, going on mediums, are likely going to have to make another stop at lap 7 in order to make this the final stop of the race. They wanted to stop at the end of 5. It'll be interesting to see if this is their intended strategy or if this was a mistake.
Oh yes, that is correct. If they pitted now, that's they won't be able to finish the race on that's the 2 cards.
Yeah. We'll have to keep
which
an eye on.
Big disadvantage on Nordschleife since there's so many turns during one lap on this circuit that I don't think we'll see anyone taking hards during the entire period duration
Also,
of this
Supermint, hi,
championship.
how are you doing? Yeah, no. This is going to be something we have to watch out for, because either that is a big mistake and miscount on their part, or they're trying something just a little different. Because the other possibility is they put on softs, which would mean that they would come in at the end of 6 and then do another run of sauce on 7 and 8. But that's taking a whole extra pit stop. And I don't think softs are worth that much more time here over the mediums.
Because it's a long lap, I would say it might be a bit. It might be difference of up to 10 seconds per lap, depending on the driver. But yeah, the pit stop is much longer, so you probably want to do just 2 pit stops, just enough to get through those 8 laps in the 1 hour format. But yeah, taking softs every 2 laps probably won't work out.
Yeah.
And looking now, we had change in the podium. Glizzy and Max Yaga are now in front of Spectre. And I wasn't able to catch that, but I think Spectre lost control and went off track because he was in third, and now
he finds himself down in 5th. So
yeah,
that must have
the
been
gap is,
a big fall off there.
yeah, his gap to the podium now is about, if I'm reading correctly, 8 seconds.
Also, Superman, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's appreciated.
Thank you, Superman.
If you
Yeah, for
haven't
anyone
as
watching,
well, you should also go check out Superman. Superman is a great YouTuber as well.
I will. Didn't know that, but I will. Yeah, if there is anyone watching, the registration for the tournament is still open. If you miss today's race, that is fine. That is absolutely fine because we have 2 drop rounds, meaning if you didn't show up to 2 of the races or you want to have your 2 worst performances not count to the overall score, that is why we have 2 drop rounds. So I'm pretty sure Kurashine has links somewhere if you're watching and still want to take part in this championship to have a chance to win one of the prizes. Yeah, then it's still open.
Absolutely. I don't remember if I put it in there, but I will make sure it is in the description of this video. I'm great. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I absolutely remember to put a link in there. But as I'm fumbling on my side of things, SVR Spectre is closing down the gap between him and Max Yaga. But just in the background, Rafix is also trying to close in on them. And as they get ready to enter onto this high-speed part of the track, Rafix is going to start to close in on this Corvette, Porsche, and Mustang, this Corvette and Porsche fight.
Yeah, that is correct. And it seems like the biggest enemy of Spectre today is actually himself, because he was doing very well. His lap times are looking very good, but every lap he seems to lose control of the car, and in effect, he loses 5, 6, even 8 seconds just from going off track.
That is the real challenge of the Nürburgring. It is such a big and complex track that even a momentary lapse of focus or control can pay massive injury to your lap times. And as I said, our early and late is in the pits now. We'll see where early and late comes out. I'm gonna guess he's going to find himself coming out a little bit ahead of Microbio. So instead of losing out as much track position as he did last time to come out in 9th, the strategy's paying off and putting him out in 6th. In 5th. In 6th. Comes out behind Reflex by some gap.
Yeah, and early and late, that's probably last pit stop for him this race. So he should be on soft tires. Sorry, on medium tires because he started on softs.
Yep.
But while he's on mediums, rest of the field will most likely pit at the end of this lap and get themselves soft compound. So now he will have this one lap when he's on fresh tires and everyone else isn't, and all the advantage he can make this lap will decide on his final position at the end of the race. Spectre taking back podium, taking over Max Yaga.
Yeah, getting it done on the GP section. Max Yaga is riding on the bumper of that 911.
Yeah, that might be very important for him that this move was done on the GP circuit part because there is a lot of space to overtake. You can go wide, you can go narrow. However, once they get to the Nordschleife part, as they did now, Max Yaga will have not a good time trying to get that P3 back. Also, back to our midfield pack battle. Micro seems to be in front of Jabingus, and then Jabingus is in front of Aspect. I don't know what happened between three of them, but looks like Aspect was leading this three-way battle, and now he's 2 seconds behind Jabingus.
Yeah, Aspect looks to have had quite a major incident.
Yeah, his car definitely looks like it's in a rough shape, but that also might be from all the bumps that he got previously for... Oh, an Aspect just crashed. Massive crash on the
Aspect is
Flugplatz.
around. Did he hit the barrier or did he hit grass?
He did the barrier and then the barrier spun him out. This is catastrophic for him. The interval currently shows that he lost 9, now 11 and a half seconds.
Yeah, and he seems to be a little frustrated now. He's going really wide and getting on the grass.
Yeah, that is correct. And he only has 3 laps until the end. Realistically, 2 3/4 of a lap to get back to that P7 fight. But yeah, that crash on the Flugplatz will be devastating for his overall score.
And while we flip back to take a look, it looks like Spectre, or let me say it correctly, Max Yaga was able to do what we said was going to be challenging and get around SVR Spectre and find himself into the P3 position.
That is correct. And once again, I don't know why I catch them in this spot, but for the third time, they are going through the Bergwerk again. And now Spectre actually has slight advantage because now he probably will take advantage of drafting again. But at those speeds, you also have to be very careful because this part of the track is very narrow. There's only space just enough for 2 cars. And Spectre, he took a short pick.
Oh, Spectre getting really loose, getting into the back of TNR Max Yaga, able to ultimately bring the car back under control, but it was a very scary moment for him. That Porsche is wiggling from side to side at the slightest bump.
Yeah, it seems like the problem he is having is he's constantly losing the back of the car. his front seems to be very stable. But I don't know if he's just using too much throttle and then the rear slips away, or maybe it's the aero settings that he's running. It's probably at minimum, but then also means that if you want to have that top speed performance and you lower your rear aero, that means probably that the Porsche will be very slidey.
And looking off into in another instance of it, I'm also curious to see like where his tires are, because we are likely getting to the end of this next stint for the car, and that is the big problem. All of his tires are worn, every single one of them.
Yeah, I'm seeing 50% tire wear.
Yeah, and Max Yaga appears to be in the same condition. So it looks like Spectre's car was very marginal as to the strength of his stability, and the tires going off are just setting him wrong. But Rafa in the background is getting the best of this fight and Spectre's instability as he's closing in onto that fight. Oh, and off in the distance we see Spectre trying to stick his nose in beside might help if I could see the names again. Spectre trying to put his nose in beside Max Yaga, paying the cost. Spectre very sideways, looking like Reflex gets into the side of him. Spectre finds himself onto the curb.
MC said, best viewers on
Yeah, not good for Spectre.
at
Not
YGDVD.
good. Losing time now to Rafix. Coming into back straight. He will be... Oh,
Rafix is off the track as well.
Rafix is out as well. Looks like only the Max Yaga out of them three was able to keep his car inside the track limits, and now he's pulling away. Obviously Rafix lost the entry into the back straight, which is very painful, and then Spectre by crashing just before the second carousel, it means he is also out of the drafting zone, because it's 1.92 seconds before Rafix, and I think drafting starts working. Oh, Spectre, not good. He's sliding all around. He will definitely be going into pits now.
Yep, everyone's
yeah, I
going
was
in.
saying that the drafting is probably starts when you're 0.8, 0.7 seconds behind someone. And as I said, him crashing just before second carousel meant that he was out of this pack and then out of drafting.
And there's early and late stepping back up into P2, but P2 almost 30 seconds behind TNR Bryker. Coming out next is TNR Glizzy. Early and late, the sole indie driver in this front pack. TNR very strongly represented in this championship.
That is correct. It didn't start like that, and qualifying didn't look like it will be TNR sided, but now we're into lap 7, and that is correct. Early and late is the only one that is not wearing a TNR tag.
Well, technically also SVR Spectre is not wearing a TNR tag either, but still affiliated.
That is correct. Yeah.
We're coming up with these times, early and late, holding on to about a 30-second lead over a 30-second gap to Bryker, but behind him Glizzy is 5 seconds down the road. Max Yaga out the pits 7 seconds behind that. Rafix 3, and I'm believing that's a glitch because Spectre is definitely not 500 seconds behind Rafix, but Spectre, after all of his issues, finding himself down 2 positions from where he was, going from being on the podium, 3 positions, being from on the podium down to P6 as early enters onto the Nordschleife.
Yeah, my intervals might be correct because the game is showing me that Spectre is just 1.5 seconds behind Graphics.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
We will have to see if that gap will be extending or he will be able to catch up. In previous lap, he proved that he is faster and he is contender for the podium. However, if he will keep having problems with grip stability of his car, he might not end up on podium today.
Yep. So checking on the wear that Early and Late has after that first lap. Early and Late up into the 20s, so it does appear that he took mediums during that last stop. So that'll be enough to get him through to the end of the race. But it's just going to matter.
Just as an FYI, there will be an SI. As in someone will be banned from Forza most likely.
Okay. I will follow up on that note later. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying.
Same. I'm just going through the telemetry of the different cars and trying to see if there is anything interesting going on.
Yeah, I don't think we'll really see anything check out until the end. Until the end of this next lap, because it'll give us an idea of like what everyone else took. So the options are you could take softs, have a lap advantage for your out lap and about half a lap thereafter, but they're going to fall off right at the end. If you take mediums, you'll be good all the way out to your final lap, but you'll be down on pace. Mediums are good to the final, but you'll be down on pace, and no one's going to take hard. So it'll be interesting to see like what people decided on. Up at the front of the field, Early and Late is gonna be in a very strong position to hold on with those medium tires through this lap and going on to the final lap of the race, because on a long narrow track like the Nordschleife or the Nürburgring, track position is key in the end, because that Mustang can be 3 lanes wide if he wants it to be.
Yeah, and we were seeing very close battles throughout the race and previous laps. However, now looking at the intervals, we have Briker, Early and Late, and Glizzy in P1, P2, P3. Max Yaga, however, is second, 7 seconds behind Glizzy. So Max Yaga, Rafix, and Spectre, if they want to fight for that P3, they will have to do some very heavy lifting. Then we have a big gap because we have 36 seconds gap. And then there is a battle for P7 for Micro, Japingus, and Aspect. Or there was a battle for that P7 because now Japingus is 4 seconds behind Micro and Aspect is 11 seconds behind Japingus. So maybe the drivers are getting tired because all of those gaps are starting to widen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a matter of who can really lock in for these last two laps. And now there appears to be an issue that will need to be reviewed after the race, according to one of the drivers posting during their pit stop. So we will, of course, be monitoring and checking a bunch of stuff after the race. But we have drivers across the entire field. Briker. Oh no, who is this? Yeah, Raymond just now entering the pits as Code the Chode is just departing the GP section of the track. And then we have Briker getting ready to come down onto the final straight. What'd you see?
I need to see if Briker, maybe no, his tires look fine because I just saw him get off track just for a second. So I thought maybe his tire wear isn't that good, but no, he appears to be doing just fine. He's closing on the end of lap 7, and he only has 25% of the tire wear. I also took a look at the penalties we have today because there is a point system that we have for this championship, and the point system says if you have more than 3 seconds of the Forza race regulation penalties, that means in the overall race result you will lose 1 point. And currently, Max Yaga is over that threshold, and Rafex as well. Max Yaga with 3.8 seconds of penalties, and Rafex with 3.1 seconds of penalties. Rest of the field has penalties, however, it doesn't qualify yet for losing that 1 point from today's results.
So as TNR Bryker crosses the line, Bryker is sitting on
Superman
about
said, sorry for delay. Was in a race. Doing well, thanks.
TNR Bryker appears to be at about 30% tire wear, so those tires are going to start to fall off by before the end of the final lap. As Bryker kicks us off onto the final tour of the Nürburgring.
That is correct, but he gained such an advantage throughout today's race. He's leading by 40 seconds. This is actually a second widest gap we have in the race, and it's a massive lead. I don't know what would have to happen for Early and Late to catch up and actually fight for P1. However, Glizzy is less than a second behind Early and Late, so there is battle for P2 still going on.
And there appears to also be a battle for P4 forming up as well, slightly in the background, about 7 seconds down the road.
That is correct. Yeah, Max Yaga 7 seconds behind the podium. I don't think he can make up that time during only 1 lap on Nordschleife. But we've seen that tire wear was an issue throughout the race today, so there might be some upsets in that last lap.
No, absolutely. Early and Late hitting down into the low 40s on the tire wear. Max Yaga putting those softs to work, getting around the outside of Early and Late, as Early is going to be getting into the hardest section for him to manage on those mediums. But with what he's running, everyone at the front is likely going to run into a wear issue before the end of this lap.
Rafex must have made a mistake, or the battle between 4th and 5th, so Max Yaga and Rafex, if they are currently fighting, Spectre is clearly taking advantage out of that, because just on the GP circuit he managed to gain 2 seconds towards P5.
So our fights that we have on the field are Early and Late in a Mustang chasing TNR Glizzy in a Corvette, and then Rafa in a Mustang chasing Max Yaga in a Corvette. So fights mirrored down the field.
That is correct. And Ray, who's running last at the moment, seems to be having some issues because he just went off track. He's on a fresh set of tires, but he went off track and he was actually lapped by Bryker, who is our today's race leader. Going back to that P7 battle, it seems like Micro started doing better lap times.
Oh, really
or
quickly,
Jabingus
Rafa
is not-
putting wheels on the outside and going wide, and I think this is YouTube corner, but able to get it back together. But Rafa's mistake is letting Spectre claw up some time right behind him. Sorry, unless I'm wrong, I thought I saw Spectre in the background of the shot. No, so Rafa and Max Jager are still out there fighting. Up ahead, early and late is slowly losing time to Glizzy. The gap going from a little under a second to now 2 seconds of time. Let's do a quick check on that life. Getting dangerously close to front left, going over the limit. But up ahead, TNR Glizzy is likely going to be finding himself in a similar situation very quickly. Well, not correct. Glizzy seems to be closing in on having about another sector of the track open for him before he starts to lose out on time.
Yeah, that is correct. And at 46% tire wear, he will definitely hit more than moderate. I think it might go into severe because he's 46% tire wear and he's not at the Carzo point, which is roughly half of the track. They both might be having issue with the tire wear for the last half of the race, for the last half lap of the race. However, early and late, because he pitted a lap before for that set of mediums, he will be in the same situation.
I don't think he'll get down to severe though. There's if I remember, early going in on softs was at the edge of severe as he crossed the line, but he was able to do most of it on mostly straight sections of the track. The mediums on their third lap don't collapse quite as bad, but the gap between Early and Max Jaga is closing, so Early is gonna have to start fighting for his life really soon. Max Jaga is still into might have spoken too soon. The fronts on the Corvette have gone to minor wear.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow up with the telemetry. Yeah, it seems that way. It seems all of the front runners currently will have issue with the tire wear as they are getting close to the end. Raymond,
I think
not
Ray
blocking the way.
Yeah, I think Ray
luckily.
is pulling to the inside to try to get out of the way of the traffic coming up on him. So that's actually kind of fair play to him because it's a very narrow part of the track. Unfortunately, he pulled off to the inside, which makes it a little more difficult for the front runners to get the space that they're looking for, but at least not impeding the track.
Yeah, that is correct. That is sportsman-like behavior.
Yeah,
that
but
when you crash, you try not to crash others in the process.
Yeah, Ray working to get the car restarted and going the right way on the track. Up now we have Rafa fighting. Rafa is finding it a little hard to control that Mustang with the worn tires. Very sideways, going off the track, finding himself up into the dirt. Is he around? Trying to get it back on, but still struggling. Spectre is very quickly trying to close that gap down.
Looking at the leader, he is already crossing the start finish line.
And
so
yeah,
there
that
it is.
Bryker locking up P1 for today's race. TNR Glizzy. And it looks like with the wear in the tires, Max Jaga is not going to be able to catch up to Early and late. TNR Glizzy is making his way up into the GP section of the track. And unless something big happens, TNR Glizzy is safely in the second place. Seeing something big, getting a little squirrely, trying to bring it onto the GP section. Let's see what we're going to be comparing against. Yeah, just about 60% of tire wear. Back on early and late, similarly pulling up into the GP section, with Rafa right in the background. All drivers coming up right at the end with nearly 60% of tire wear, so right on the edge of having to go severe. So those two strategies converging right at the end, but working out to give early and late running the alternate strategy of P3. Going down through the order, give me 1 second.
It seems like the front runners in this race, P1 to P6, have finished, and then there is a slightly bigger gap between 6 and 7. P7 is Microbio ahead 14 seconds of Japingus. Then P9 looks like it's gonna go to Aspect. And then rest of the field, Dave, P10, Tony Monkey, P11, Roseface, P12, E Clifter, 13th, Code the Chode, 14th, and Ray is going to be finishing last at P15.
All right.
Right, Kuro. Thank you for today. I'm going to go and hop in that other VC before they
all
go away.
dismiss. All right. So, as I said, our podium for today is TNR Bryker in the C8 Corvette R in P1, TNR Glizzy in the C8 Corvette in P2, early and late in the Mustang GT GT3. And then rounding us out, we have Max Yaga in the C8, TNR Rafa in the Mustang, SVR Spectre in P6, Microbio in the Ferrari P7, Jabingus in the C8 and P8, Aspect in the AMG GT P9, Daw in the C8 as well, closing us out on P10. Rounding out the track, we're gonna have a few more finishers. Tony Monkey is making his way through the final sector of the track, entering onto the long straight. A little bit of a blackout. Tony Monkey brings it up onto the GP section and bringing it to a close for locking in his P11. And then in the background, we're going to have Roast Race coming up the hill, cresting the hill on the long straight, making his way up into the final sector. There goes Roast Race into the GP section, and bringing it home to lock down his P12 finish. All drivers, let's check the point standing as we wait for these final cars to come across the line. All drivers will receive points down through P42. So even these drivers completing at P12 are still going to walk away with a pretty healthy haul of points. So getting down to these this last grouping, P10 will come away with 24, 11, 23, 12, 22. Oh, Roast Race. Oh wait, no, this is the bot controlling. Roast Race is done. EC Lifter also just completed. Apologies for missing that completion. Onto Code the Chode bringing that 911 GT3R. See, where are we on the track? getting ready to enter onto the back straight, and Raymond is trying to work his way around with very cold tires. Yeah, Raymond may be having some issues getting himself pushed up on the pace to get the heat into the tire that he needs. But here in the community, we'll do what we can to help bring him up to speed. Taking a very easy time around the downhill S-bend. Raymond's gonna work on improving going into the next rounds. But we're gonna pop back over to Code the Chode as Code the Chode brings it up the hill. Going to round out our standings for P14.
Roast Race said, that was a good race, had a GG a civil war.
Yeah, you and good on you, Roast Race. We had the honor of popping in to watch you and Tony Monkey go at it for a good bit of the run. It was actually a really good fight up and down the field for quite a ways. And once I can switch, we're gonna be waiting on Raymond to complete his final lap. Raymond working to get the car started back up and going on the track. I'm not certain on what the timing situation is for the end of race timer. Ooh. Yeah, Raymond's gonna be taking his time. We're gonna let Raymond have some space to finish up the race. But we want to thank you.
Lasted until lap 5 to 6 when I went too much on the curb.
Yeah, it's definitely a big possibility around here. So we want to thank everyone that did tune in and watch the first round of King of the Ring, and we invite you that if you are interested, please feel free to register and sign up. We have room for one whole other lobby of people to participate. Like I said, there are points available for everyone down through 44, and it is a long championship, so it's very much going to be a game of who shows up when and where. And there are 2 drop rounds, so even if you miss today, you still got another round that you can miss out on for your points, or possibly how do I say sorry, my brain is like failing to function. You got 2 rounds to lose. If you miss today, you're not going to really be missing out, because you can just like write this one off.
Superman said, sweet t-shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is my R33 Sakura Bloom shirt. I meant to save this for another day, but I kinda did not find all the shirts that I wanted to wear today. I need to go do some laundry. Superman, if you're around on these times, you should come join us. You could win up to $300 and be crowned the king of the ring for our community. But no, please come check us out. The links for joining the Discord are in the description, and the links to join the championship on SimGrid are also down there as well. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the future. I'm gonna wait for Raymond to finish so I can hopefully save the replay from today's race. I'm gonna pop into the VC and see what's going on.
His photo and brakes.
It's because
so it was like looking legit, but then
Yeah, no, that was so bad. I mean, like, I have had someone from LMP actually be banned, well, suspended for a month because Turn 10 caught them having a certain application on when it shouldn't have been on accidentally. And yeah, that does happen.
Name or it didn't happen.
I'd say he does have, seeing that what happened, I'd say he has a very good chance of being permanently banned.
Yep.
Name or it didn't happen.
Aspect, do you have a screenshot? Because I cannot. I'm stuck in the lobby somehow.
Yeah, I put it in the staff chat.
Thank you.
The replay saved at least, so that's nice.
Oh, nice.
Very
You
unexpected.
can unexpected,
press
very
save?
unexpected actually.
You press save and it saves?
What? When it says
I didn't
download
know.
succeeded and it actually succeeds?
Imagine that.
We got someone
Yeah, I
who
crashed.
is streaming and is listening to us.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for everyone that participated today.
It didn't save.
It didn't
I had a
save.
different Nürburgring. No, I had a different Nürburgring replay at the top, but it's a different one. Oh, so that's awesome. I hate this game so much.
Yeah, it didn't give me the option to.
Oh, from the ground up, I say.
Yeah, it didn't give me the option to
Yep, mine
save when
didn't save
when I went through. Yeah, gotta love it.
So then
but yeah,
I understand we
both love it and hate it.
we do the results manually on SimGrid, right?
yeah, I'll get the entries done this evening because I'll be doing this in MCC more or less once we wrap this up.
Thank you, girl.
Yep.
Thank you.
How
Carol.
much time we have for RC stuff?
Oh my
Uh,
god. Oscar Piastri and Lando just crashed each
Kira,
other.
we can edit everything on SimGrid, right?
Yeah, so
Yes.
what I can do is I can put in the results we have right now. I tend to wait until like 48 hours to finalize everything. So if you want to submit an RC, you think we have a new RC system, so we don't want to commit to like having it turned around too quickly. So you want to say like 48 hours to submit RC stuff?
It should be really fast now. The ticket system is someone made it. Don't know.
I appreciate it. I just want to like give us time to process it and make sure we get everything right.
Yeah.
All right, so you got 48 hours to
And I'm gonna put it
submit
in
your.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the regulations because I didn't put what's the window for disputes.
Oh, submitting a
arguments.
ticket. Yeah.
So we'll say 48 hours to get your stuff submitted, and as long as there are no dragging RC issues, points will be finalized by Wednesday. So you should see like preliminary results up this evening, but they won't be like officially submitted and locked in until Wednesday once all the RC cases are closed, and you'll get an announcement
feel
saying
like we
that that's done.
I feel like we should say like you only have like 4 hours after the race to submit a ticket.
I say like give them a day because like if
cool.
that's really fast.
Yeah,
Most communities are at least you have
Plus-
24
plus-
hours, but I think 48 is
All
fair
right.
in case there's like a cooling period that someone wants to do or like take time to figure it out.
Yeah, plus that one has to accumulate for something called time zones.
Yeah, because like if someone's
4
like
hours is 4 hours regardless of the time zone, though.
no, like 4 hours is
On the
4
end
hours
of the
regardless of the
race.
time zone, but it's like midnight for some people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
about to say,
it's whatever.
Some people will just want to crash
Finish
into
the race
bed.
and go and like pass out because like racing even race for an hour and especially the 2 hour races, it'll get really hard. we can give
That's
them
why
time
I say
aspect. It's cool.
4
It's
hours
cool.
is really not good.
Thank you, Aspect, for being so kind. But yeah,
thank you
congratulations
for
to
that.
our podium sitters for today's race. We look forward to seeing everyone back. What is this called? See everyone back next week for round 2, where the track stays the same, but the conditions will be different.
that is correct.
Yeah.
And in 3 weeks from now, we'll have our first 2-hour race of this championship.
Great. I'll update my hacks.
Heck yeah. All right. Bye for now, y'all. I'll see you around the server. Oh yeah, but yeah, just make sure if you have
Thank you, Guru.
any questions or anything you want, submit a ticket or message someone on staff and we'll try to get you answers directly. Our preference is for you to submit a ticket and we will go from there.
All right, sounds good.
I'll have a quick talk with you, Kuro, about what I said earlier before the race started.
Okay, yeah, shoot me. Just shoot me a DM. We'll talk about it later. But I am going to sign off stream, and I'll catch
Yeah,
you
of
later.
course.
All right, stream people. I am also going to go and call it here because, like I said, I have work to do. I'm going to be submitting points for both the multi-class championship and this. You can join either one. Multi-class championship is a little more relaxed than King of the Ring, as King of the Ring is a cash prize championship. But until next time, I hope you have a good one. We will be back next Saturday for another round of King of the Ring and multi-class championship round 1. So until then, we're out.